And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. Brand new month, brand new schedule. We got from Gangster X, a four-way fight between Slender Man, Pennywise, Laughing Cat, the Cartoon Cat, and Siren Head. Now, you'll notice I'm not in the corner. It's because this little part here is not attached to the rest of this image. I had to make this part of the image. Unfortunately, finding images of Siren Head that I can use to make an image are a little difficult, so that's the best I can do. So I'll just take the shot from the, honestly, now that I'm done here, I'll take the shot from the video and we'll go from there. And let's just move me a little, there we go. Hi, everyone. So for matches, I've had a lot of people over the years give me like multiple people versus multiple people without realizing that the YouTube only allows for 100 character freaking title. Like you guys do realize when you give me these requests, and most of you do, but some of you guys don't seem to realize I still have to make a title that fits. So yeah, that's not quite how this all works. People get so excited and sometimes overzealous. That's fine. I've done all these guys at least once on the channel before. Siren Head shown up once or twice. Cartoon Cat, I think, at least once. And Slender Man and Pennywise could go on the Mount Rushmore of how many times I've done characters. The question would be, if all four of these things met in some way at the same time, who would win in an ultimate confrontation? And to understand that, we have to go a little bit into their base abilities, power, all that, and a little bit of their origins. We'll actually go back. Let's actually go from, at least from the way we're looking at here, right to left, because the last two are the ones that I have the most knowledge about. Siren Head, actually, weirdly enough, Siren Head and Cartoon Cat are both Trevor Henderson creations. Trevor Henderson is a Canadian cartoonist who just developed his own kind of horror universe, similar to like a creepypasta or an SCP or whatever. And these are two creatures that inhabit their world. Now, what either of these things actually are still isn't known in the Trevor Henderson universe. What we do know is, though, they are immensely dangerous. The Siren Head is around 40 feet tall, very emaciated looking, has at least one siren for its head with alleged teeth, or teeth on it. Doesn't have eyes, but it's still capable of seeing. He has apparently recently confirmed that it is like an extension of an unfathomable supernatural entity. It is surprisingly fast and strong for its size, despite even for the fact that it's giant, it's still very emaciated looking and skinny and gaunt. It's capable of using audio acoustics to trick individuals, manipulating sound, and apparently it can literally manipulate sound to such a degree that it can literally burst your body just with sound. That or just like shreds you and tears you apart. It's more or less invulnerable to most conventional weapons, although I don't know if anyone's tried to firebomb this thing before, so take that for what it's worth. Most conventional weapons like guns, knives, axes aren't going to do anything to this. Like, again, a shot from a tank, I don't know if anyone's tried that before. Let me know if someone's tried that before. But I assume once you get to higher grades of weaponry, it probably will do something. Similar to like Pennywise. Like if Pennywise got nuked, look, he's probably going to survive it because of how Pennywise works, but it still would probably hurt. He'd feel the pain. So then the Cartoon Cat is a weird one. It's like that. This is one that even I don't know a great deal about, even based on its wiki entry. It is malice, just horrifying, homicidal. It loves to injure people, the best with them. It's based off Rubber Hose animation, and it really seems to have a real-world version of Toon Force, where its body can contort, extend, be malleable. It can avoid most physical harm because of that. It seems to have some level of reality warping, although not to like a large scale. It seems to be able to like stealth, teleportation. It seems to have like the general supernatural fare. It's just really hard to put down because it seems to have its own live action version of Toon Force in some way, which is scary as F. Slenderman and Pennywise. Okay, let me sum it up because I've done this guy so many goddamn times. Pennywise is what's known as a glimmer. He is, or it is, I suppose. Technically it's a she, but it is a being from the macroverse, the universe that exists outside of our universe. There's, the planet, the universe, and then there's the the other universe where stories like the Dark Tower and stuff take place. It is one of the stronger beings within the macroverse, but it's not the strongest being in the macroverse. It's basically where Maturin, its counterpart, is pretty much the embodiment of life. It can literally just throw up universes. Pennywise is the embodiment of consumption and greed. While we don't know its true form, it does have a true form. It's believed that the Deadlights are its true form, but it's possible it actually has a true form beyond that. Like, it does actually have a physical anthropomorphic form. It's just the Deadlights probably mask that. Pennywise, obviously, as we know, feeds off fear. Does not look like Pennywise the Dancing Clown, really. It just likes this form a lot. But it can shapeshift, transform into whatever it really wants to. It feeds off your fear, gets stronger from it. It can read your mind, and cause hallucinations, minor forms of reality warping as well. Any living being that stares into the Deadlights is either driven insane then dies, or just dies. Or you go into a weird coma, as we saw in the movie. But generally speaking, that's, I think, mostly for the movie. The Deadlights, and this leads to the idea that basically we're not meant to understand what this is. This is something beyond our brain's comprehension. Very eldritch, very cosmic horror-like. That's what Pennywise is. Pennywise, though, does have a set weakness, and if you don't show fear of him, and if you overcome that fear of him and show it, it weakens him. And if you do it in a group, it weakens him considerably. Now, in the book, you have the ritual of Chud, which was a whole thing. If I remember correctly, the ritual of Chud involved like your tongues dancing or something like that. Something to do with that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But the ritual of Chud didn't quite work the second time around. It didn't even beat him the first time around. It put him into like stasis. So in the movies, they use different methods of taking him down. Now, again, before anyone, I've had people in the past bring something, you can only be beaten by the ritual of Chud. You don't know what you're talking about. It's like, context. Context is everything. You can't use the same logic within. Let me put it this way. If someone's weakness is holy weapons, like if a vampire's weakness is strictly holy weapons and sunlight, but then someone has the ability to manipulate reality, well, guess what? That's something they're not prepared to deal with. Pennywise is the exact same way. Just because he has one main way of taking him down within the Stephen King universe does not mean if you were to take him out of that universe, he wouldn't have other weaknesses. Pennywise outside of his universe is actually a fairly weak character when you really break it down. Throw him into any anime or comic universe, and he might cause some trouble in some universes, but ultimately he's going to take it down. Oh, he's going to go down hard. Then there's Slender Man. Now, Slender Man, oh god, I can never remember what the hell it is. Oh, wow. Oh, wait. Crap. I'm something that is brought into being from collective thought. What the hell was that called? Tulpa! That's what it was called. Now, I'm not saying that's what he is. That's just one of the theories of what Slender Man is, that he's a Tulpa, a being that is literally created from collective consciousness. Well, technically, a Tulpa could actually be created from just like technically a single consciousness. But generally, the idea is that he is a being that was literally manifested through belief. Which would be impressive because if God himself, the Christian God, has not manifested on earth yet, then again, if you believe the Bible, he manifested in the form of Jesus, even though he was his own son. So he's his own son. Yeah, there's logic problems with that. Everything about that. I'm not trying to bash our religion. I'm just making a point about the whole concept of the Tulpa. But there's others that believe he's an alien, others that believe he's a demon, a supernatural, a dimensional being. There are many, many theories on what Slender Man is. But what we do know is he is very dangerous. He is stronger than an average grown man. He is stealthy, capable of teleportation and moving in shadows, manipulating shadows, and causing like tendrils for manipulation tactics. He's capable of creating psychosis just by looking at him, and kind of in a similar vein to Pennywise's Deadlights. He seems to be also very intelligent and strategic. He's skilled at stalking. Slender Man is a very capable individual. However, as far as we know, Slender Man's not infallible. Like, he's technically the top dog of the creepypasta, save for like Zalgo, who if I remember Zalgo correctly. He's kind of like your Scarlet King, your Crimson King, your multiversal level individual. But Slender Man is one of the top dogs of the Creepypasta universe. But we don't really see him in fights very often, at least in the lore, as far as I know. Pennywise, Slender Man is apparently capable of still being injured and capable of getting very upset. I believe I do recall like one scenario where a guy actually came at him with a bat, and you actually heard the Slender Man scream, either because he got hit or because he was pissed off that this guy actually had the balls to like come up and attack him. And so it's clear that the Slender Man probably isn't infallible or invincible by a stretch of the means, but he is dangerous and it is problematic. So now we broke all that down 10 minutes in a 4-way battle. Who the hell is going to win this? I'm going to tell you right now, I think Siren Head's the first one out. The reason for that is, even though with expanded lore he's now the extension of a unfathomable supernatural entity, he's similar to Pennywise, where it's you're still bound to your physical limitations. And unlike the rest of them, he doesn't really seem to have a clear-cut way to win. In theory, he could burst Pennywise with a sonic vibration, but Pennywise is technically the only one with an actual physical body there. I mean, yes, they both do. Slender Man and Cartoon Cat both do, but because of the Rubber Hose Animation Toon Force, he's probably going to negate that. Plus, he also has the ability to manipulate sound to some degree. So add that on to the fact that both Slender Man and Pennywise are very quickly going to want to take this thing down because it's being very problematic as a large creature that could theoretically hurt them. They're going to take that thing down very quickly. The next one off the list, though, I think is going to be Pennywise. This is due to the fact that these things aren't going to be afraid of Pennywise at all. In fact, these things have abilities Pennywise isn't really ready to deal with at all. Pennywise doesn't, nor he has dealt with in his universe supernatural threats and supernatural threats on his level. But he doesn't normally deal with that. And when confronted with individuals with actual powers, Pennywise no longer is like as big a threat as he is in the actual series. Because he's going up against just humans in the actual series. He's a huge threat in that sense. You take out the limitations of humans and you give those humans powers, or give whatever individual powers, and you now have a guy who is struggling to keep up. The longer the fight goes on, the worse Pennywise is going to be. And the problem, just as I said, with Siren Head is that he doesn't have an immediate way to kill either of these things. Entering their minds is probably a no bueno situation because these things are not human. These things are probably something that even Pennywise is struggling to fathom exactly what the hell they is, particularly the Cartoon Cat. Slender Man seems to have a level of sapience beyond the Cartoon Cat, because Slender Man's motivation is still greatly unknown. At least within his world. Some think he punishes children. Some think he's just a lonely individual who just wants friends. Like, he could be an imaginary friend. Remember that? What was it? Oh God, that movie a while back about the imaginary friend. That was, My Name Is Larry. Larry just wants a friend. He was like hiding in the the electronics or something like that, and then it came out. He's very, it could be something as simple as that. But regardless, entering his mind probably is not a good idea, because just like Pennywise, he can cause psychosis as well. So Pennywise, it's going to be a long drawn out fight. These guys are going to be duking out, but Pennywise is just going to keep weakening and weakening until he eventually either has to go into hibernation or is actually killed. This leaves us with the last two combatants in this, which would be Cartoon Cat and Slender Man. And this is weird. This is tough because both these individuals have weird power sets. We have no idea what the mortality, what exactly the mortality situation of either of these things actually are. What we do know is that these guys technically are immortal, at least in the agelessness sense. They don't age. They can theoretically live forever. Could they be killed? Probably, but whatever effort it's going to take to kill him is not something we normally have available at our beck and call. But one can manipulate shadows without any real difficulty. The other is pretty much Luffy, minus the ability to make things rubber. So, who do I think would win? I think personally, and this is just my opinion, so tell me go pound sand if you disagree. Um, I think I would actually go with the cartoon cat. And the reason for that is this: when you actually look up what the cartoon cat is legitimately capable of from an ability standpoint, the cartoon cat is, again, like, has cartoon physics, information manipulation, metaphysical manipulation implied, mind you, shape and size manipulation implied, immortality, reality warping, some eldritch physiology, sound manipulation implied, immersion, dimensional travel, disguise. The cartoon cat has pretty much all the same abilities as Slender Man, with added durability of the cartoon physiology, cartoon physics. So that's something Slender Man doesn't have. And if Slender Man is in fact capable of being injured, Cartoon Cat certainly has the capacity of doing that. So I would say that in a four-way fight to the death, I would go with the Cartoon Cat. I think he's going to outlast all these guys. He's probably the most insane, actually, of them. And I don't mean like evil. I mean like legit insanity. So he's probably the craziest. Probably will be going ham on just about everything here. Or just enjoy just having to hit him and then nothing happened. So ultimately, yeah, I'll go with the Cartoon Cat for the four-way. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Who do you got? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.